I don't know about you, but it kind of turns me on when there's the man who's like a good looking man who is the most quietest man in the room. Like, it just kind of like, it makes you seem like a little bit more mysterious. And as a woman, we're naturally curious. So I feel like we just want to know more about that person.
In my experience, the men who were attractive and they made a lot of money, tall, dark, handsome, clean cut, those were the worst men to date. And they were the worst men to date because they had a mentality that I can get any woman I want, therefore I don't have to try as hard. Because they know that no matter what, there are going to be women who fall to their knees for a pair of designer heels. Head over heels.
What is the first thing that pops into your head when you see a really hot guy?
Damn, he's hot.
I hope he notices me. I observe how much work he's taken to get there, the physical and mental discipline that it would have taken to get to that point. I reflect on the fact that that must have taken some good qualities and character for him to have achieved that look. I don't immediately think about, oh, I want to sleep with him.
I think that I see them and they're hot and I just want to sleep with them.
I think that's actually a perfect example of how different people can be. What I see is I see the effort that they put into that. What she sees is a really, really hot guy that she wouldn't mind getting in bed with. Everybody's different, men and women.
If the guy looks better than the girl, the relationship is never going to work out.
Why?
Because once he feels like he looks better than you, he's going to dog you out.
I think I'm going to start complimenting men I find attractive more. And not with the intention of shooting my shot, but just, leave a nice little compliment. Everybody loves a good compliment. It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. A compliment makes people feel good on the inside. And a couple weeks ago, I complimented this model on Instagram after he posted the story. I was like, your face is so beautiful. He says, thank you, as is yours. I said thanks and kept it pushing. That was all I needed. That was all I needed. Because one, I gave him a compliment, which put good vibes and positive energy out there. Two, I put myself out there because I really didn't have to say anything at all. I could have just kept my compliment to myself. And three, I kind of helped with my fear of rejection because just because you compliment somebody doesn't mean they're going to take that compliment well. It was a win-win situation. So yeah, I think I'm going to start doing that more and seeing where it goes.
So I have realized that I can appreciate a pretty boy. I can be like, oh my gosh, he's gorgeous. But for some reason, I'm not really attracted to ultra pretty boys. And I don't really know why. He gotta be a little handsome, but you know what I'm talking about? Those ones that are prettier than the average female. You're like, oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous, so exotic looking, all that. But for some reason, I've never really been attracted to that. And I can't put a finger on it. Why?
If you're out and you see a really hot guy, especially if he's tall, and he's not approaching any women, well, that's because the women are approaching him. And I can assure you, that guy sucks. That man has never formed a personality in his life.
My husband keeps getting more attractive and I don't like it. Me, 32 female, and my husband, 32 male, have been together for 8 years, married for 5. I am not ashamed to say I was the pretty one in our relationship when we were dating. Before we got married, he was around 280 pounds and 5'11". Didn't know how to choose clothes for himself. He hates shopping. And he had a bald head. I fell in love with who he was as a person, even though I never cared for his looks. I was secretly assured that he wouldn't cheat on me. I was cheated on every single one of my relationships until he came along. Ooh, girl. Into second year of our marriage, his sister had lost a ton of weight due to heart issues, and he started going to the gym with her 5 times a week to support her. He specifically lost around 100 pounds. Oh, well done. And turns out he has very blessed genes. I'm talking full-on abs and everything. Never knew man can grow jawlines by losing weight. Went on a shopping spree and started to let his hair grow out. Well, again, turns out he has beautiful hair. By this time, my husband is a very attractive man. Then a month, we went to our company's anniversary party with his co-workers. I noticed that women at the party were just swooning over my husband, and even worse, he didn't even realize it. I learned from his co-worker that most single women, even some of the married ones, are actively throwing themselves at him. I don't like how much attention he's getting. I feel like as soon as we get into a rough patch, if we get into it, there's a ton of women waiting to prey on him. I'm scared that some of these women will affect him as he's pretty naive as a person. Note that he was everything I could ask for in marriage, and he's been great, if not a perfect husband over the years. I feel like such a POS for wishing he stayed physically the same.
I have a question. Why is it that really good looking guys and really good looking girls, they have a completely different reaction to the way they receive attention? I feel like, and not in an arrogant way, I think really good looking girls accept the attention. Yeah, sorry, there may be a arrogance there. But really good looking guys, I've noticed, they sort of sneer at the whole thing. They roll their eyes if a girl looks at them. It's like it annoys them or something. It's like you look at them and it's like, oh, another one's fallen in love with me. There was a guy in the building I used to work at ages ago. He was really good looking. He wasn't in our company, but it was one of those buildings where lots of different companies work. We were a small business, and whenever he would pass by our window, we would all look and whisper and giggle. And he'd just roll his eyes and look really really irritated by the whole thing. It has dawned on me since that maybe he was gay and that's why he didn't like it. Even if you are gay, would you not just sort of enjoy the fact that people think you're good looking? He seemed really pissed off by it. Like, he really didn't like it. And it's a reaction I'm used to from many good looking guys. When they see like lots of girls looking at them, they're just like, oh, like really? Good looking girls don't act like that. They don't. I've just wondered why. Where's that? Because it is arrogance, I think. Or I don't know, it's unfriendly, isn't it? Like, where does that stem from? Where does it come from? Why do they do it?
So I like really attractive guys, right? I've never been one of the girlies that subscribes to the whole, oh, if you date an ugly guy, he'll treat you better, etc. I'm a firm believer in you should date somebody that you're genuinely attracted to and that aligns with everything that you're looking for in a partner. But I say all this to say that I personally notice, because I like what would be considered pretty boys, I feel as though they always expect you to chase. And one thing for certain, two things for sure, I'm a badass bitch too, okay, period. And I want to be courted properly. Like, I want to be asked out, courted properly, pursued. And I noticed that with the more attractive men, they also want to be pursued. And I'm at this phase in my life. In my younger years, I would have said, oh, he's fine, so I'm just going to put up with whatever because he's fine, you know? But in my late 20s and then up until now, I'm just like, I do not care how good you look. I look good too, okay? I will cut you the fuck off if you're not moving accordingly. And I don't think people really get that. I don't. I think a lot of these men are so used to women that will put up with anything just because they look good. And don't let them look good and have money, because once I'm like, girl, they look good and they got money, okay? They're used to girls that will put up with anything because of those two things right there. And I will not. Because I've also seen men that look good as hell and they love their partners. And I mean like madly in love with their partners. And that is, I will not stop until I get that. I want the partner that is fine as hell. Everybody's like, damn, he looks good. Y'all look great together. But he only has eyes for you. And I know it can be done. I refuse to settle for the idea that everybody tries to make it seem like, oh, you're not gonna, babes, you might not be gonna find that. I'm gonna find that, period. But until then, these really good looking guys that think that you as women are gonna chase and do all the work, no, you will never hear from me again.
I'm being dead serious. I'm not even trying to be an asshole at all right now by saying this. I personally have never come across a drop-dead gorgeous man, like someone who you're just like, oh, damn, he is fine, that doesn't open their mouth and talk and immediately I get the ick. They're either just like not well-spoken, they're straight up fucking dumb, or arrogant. Every gorgeous guy I've met has had a really shitty personality. I really wish I could find a gorgeous, fine man who was so emotionally intelligent, who was well-spoken, who had a good personality, who wasn't so full of himself. Where are the gorgeous men at that have a fucking brain? Like, please.
Here are some perks of dating an attractive man. I saw some guy do this about dating an attractive woman, and it made me think about how nobody really talks about the perks of dating an attractive man. The biggest perk with dating an attractive man is most likely they are secure with themselves. I think this really just has to do with society and growing up conventionally attractive. And because they are seen as attractive, they are not really insecure. And because they are not insecure, they really allow you to just be who you are and they don't get too threatened by things. I have dated men before that were not really secure with how they look, and they kind of put me down a lot because of it. But attractive men know they look good, so they don't really put you down. Like,
they let you be who you want to be. And that's one of the biggest perks with dating an attractive man. Number 2, attractive men most likely take care of themselves. What I mean by this is they usually have a skincare routine. They usually always get their hair done. Like, they just are really good with keeping up with themselves. And no, I'm not talking about being sassy or being none of that. But them keeping up with themselves, their look, their personal hygiene is just a plus. And that's self-explanatory, but there's nothing better than being with a man who takes care of himself, because it's just a good look for you and it's just good to look at him. Like, you know what I mean? Number 3, being in a relationship with an attractive man is not only going to improve your mood, but it's going to make the length of your arguments much shorter. Now, hear me out with this. So it is so much harder to stay mad at somebody that look good. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. And that's why they say it's so important to date somebody that you're attracted to. Because imagine getting in an argument with somebody and you mad, and then on top of that, they look bad. That is just going to push you off so much more. But if that man piss you off and he look good, you're like, oh my gosh, like, he got me tight, but he still look good. Like, you know, it's just going to make you feel good. Okay, number 4, the last perk I think about being with an attractive man has to do with networking. So men are naturally the leaders in your relationship, right? Just in society, men are just seen as leaders. But in society, people tend to gravitate more towards conventionally attractive people, which means more networking, more opportunities for your man, which in turn can help make your man more successful. It sucks to say, but networking is very big with being successful in this day and age. So by association, if your man is doing good in life, you're just going to be doing good too. And those are some perks I personally think about being with an attractive man. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments.
Here is things that annoy me about pretty boys. Number 1, why is it that all these pretty boys, most of the time, they're broke? Like, make it make sense, huh? How come your physical is not, matching like your life and everything like that? Make it make sense. How you pretty and you're broke? Number 2, why is it that these pretty boys, most of the time, they are so feminine? Like, what? No. Because why would they be expecting for the girls to be the one to be pursuing them, Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense, Number 3, the looks are the only thing they have going on for them. Like, no talent whatsoever. They just sit there and be pretty like they're the bad bitches. Number 4, they think every girl wants them, when that is not the case, guys. Looks don't mean anything. Looks fade. Are you intelligent? What's your intellect saying? Do you have emotional intelligence? Like, do you have substance? Number 4, sometimes like, why are you pretty? Like, why are you pretty? Sometimes like, you're even prettier than the hun. Like, why are you prettier than us? Like, it shouldn't be that way, you know what I mean? A guy, like a man, should be like slightly ugly, you know what I mean? So why are you pretty? Why are you pretty?